we know that Daredevil Born Again is going into production and officially will start rolling the cameras on February 6th. And looking at Marvel's recent track record with the start of productions, ending productions, and post-production, this might be a little bit of a cause for concern when it comes to the release of the series. So I have said it plenty of times, if something doesn't sound right to me or doesn't look good, or I have an opinion that's not really popular, or even one that's maybe controversial, I will state it. And make no mistake, you guys know in these news videos and the podcasts we do, we talk about the good and bad when it comes to everything, right? A lot of times we do have a more positive outlook, and sometimes that does end up really turning on me. Obviously, my positive outlook that I thought Morbius would be good really haunts me still, and that's never going to go away, just like X-Men Apocalypse and a couple other things. But in this case, I want to talk about Daredevil Born Again and the production start. So starting in February and going all the way till the end of December, we know because they confirmed the longest Marvel Studios production ever, lasting 11 months. That's absolutely huge because, again, that's a huge undertaking to deliver 18 episodes. If you compare that to the actual production of the Netflix show, I mean, it literally dwarfs it because those productions were less than 6 months. Many were close to 3.5 to 4 to put out 12 episodes and then rapidly go into the next production on the next series, and the budget suffered and everything suffered. The issue I'm seeing here with Daredevil Born Again is we're seeing that things like Echo and other productions that have started shooting or wrapped shooting are taking a lot longer in post-production. And they're taking a lot longer to try to make things look good because, again, they can't look as cheap as something on like ABC, for example, or the CW. And make no mistake, Disney Plus and Marvel Studios still drop the ball on many of these aspects. I liked She-Hulk. I'm not afraid to admit that. But I will be the first to criticize some of the most horrendous CG I've seen in the last couple of years in that show. Miss Marvel has its ups and downs, but the CG in the final episode leaves a lot to be desired. And again, Daredevil is going to be a courtroom show. Yes, we know this for a fact. But also, they've said they're going to use a lot more CG and have a lot more of an acrobatic Daredevil. And I will say, again, despite liking what they did in She-Hulk, that some of his CG and movement did not look as natural. And my problem here is, and some of the issues I have with what we're hearing now, is that they are still targeting that spring/late winter release for Daredevil Born Again. Even if the series wraps in December on time and they don't need reshoots, which let's hope so, let's say they're still post-producing the first episode, which they might be because, again, they always cut it close on TV. That's how it's done. Remember, when WandaVision came out, when the first episode was airing, they were literally still post-producing the last 4 episodes. So they cut it real close. I think we're starting to show Marvel Studios spreading themselves out too thin, cutting costs when they need to meet certain dates because supply and demand for Disney Plus has shown that people want more content, but people also want good content. And if the content isn't delivered in a rapid-fire manner, subscriptions go down, and then the investors panic. I honestly think Daredevil Born Again could be in major trouble and suffer in either quality or in its presentation because of all these circumstances. All eyes are going to be on this product because it's Daredevil. His comics sell, his merchandise sells, and he did good on Netflix. So if Marvel Studios ends up dropping the ball in any regard, it's going to be something that's highlighted over and over again, and it's going to suffer more criticism and have a bigger impact on everything Marvel on TV than any other project we've seen so far. So as much as I'm excited about this production start date in February and going all the way till the end of December, I am very concerned and very worried. And I do hope that they can nail it, and I trust that they can. But I'm going to talk about some other problems for 2023 and 2024 that Marvel has that many of you asked me to talk about. And some people aren't going to like what I say in that video. But again, I want to be honest with you guys, and I've said I will. And I have a lot of issues going with the MCU formula past this next year because it's getting really congested.